Yo, what's good, YouTube? Minnie here, bringing you guys on next episode of our Elden Rings Let's Play. And just like I promised, we have a special guest today. Here is Sun and Muse Gaming, aka Jerome, DM of Boomtown, the D podcast that I'm part of. How you doing, Jerome?
Doing good.
Awesome. So, uh, we're mainly going to be talking about the D&D podcast, so you guys will get a little more information about that. In the back, I'm going to be clearing out this fort that we talked about last session or last episode, and then I think I'm going to head up this way, hit this church. There's a death fruit over here, and some other things just clean up wise. And I did actually miss. There is another cave over here that I have to hit. So we'll do that. Either one or two episodes we'll hear with Jerome talking about it. So first off, Jerome, go ahead and get a little breakdown of what Boomtown is.
Yeah, absolutely, Jacob. Boomtown is a D&D podcast with a Wild West theme. That's like the simplest I could put it. Yeah, there's portals, there's sci-fi. I kind of wanted to make like a space western. There's no space yet, but we'll see in the later arcs what happens.
Space, I'm ready for that. And yes, like I told my audience that I decided to do a samurai in the Old West because who doesn't love an old Western samurai in it?
Yeah, dude. No, when you came with that idea, I remember you had the idea for that and then one other one, but you sounded really excited about doing a samurai, and I love westerns and samurai movies, and I was like, how did I not think to have a samurai character? It was perfect. It was perfect.
And making him a Eldrin kind of fits really well because of the portals and everything. So
Yeah, well, I thought that was so
really
cool.
well.
Yeah, because it's like, how would a samurai, get to the Wild West? In our world, obviously, those areas of the world are like super far apart and kind of like different worlds to each other, east and west. So having the Feywild kind of take the place of, somewhere far away with a very different culture, where one would find people with a very different style of doing combat and decorum and tradition. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, and I think what we have done with the character is really cool. Um, so like I have told people, Sun Sui, I didn't go too much into the depth because I was waiting for this episode to go into more of it. But Sun Sui is a noble from the Feywild, and using his nobility, he I have told people that he is based off a anime character from Bleach. So he's very lazy, and I think that's my favorite part is the town is like trying to rebuild and do a bunch of different things, and I'm just trying to sleep.
Yeah, like try to avoid work wherever possible.
It's the
I
funniest
love
thing
it.
is like downtime activity is like okay, half of Sansui's downtime activities is to avoid.
Yeah, yeah. I love how you do that and you make it feel really faithful to the character, but Sensui still ends up getting roped into stuff and like
Oh
helping out.
yeah, it's the worst, especially a little spoilers, but not too much. Building the windmill.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite sequences we've had so far. That was really fun.
Just
Oh,
trying to
you know
help an
what? I'm
old lady
realizing.
out.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I realized that I didn't really give the big thing. Boomtown, a community that was decimated in a revolution that happened a few decades ago, burned to the ground and completely destroyed, potentially for mysterious magical means, is now being rebuilt by people who are fleeing from another sort of political revolution happening in the country. They're transitioning from a monarchy into a more democratic republic, and a lot of mages and misfits and people who don't really see a path forward in the former kingdom, now the Republic of Exultar, have come to Boomtown to start new lives, to rebuild the town, and yeah, to try and prosper in this harsh frontier, which is often ravaged by magical natural disasters called shifts, where different planes of reality overlap with Boomtown and cause crazy shit to happen. Oh, sorry, can I swear?
Yeah. Pull your guys' attention to the gameplay real quick. So this is the only enemy that is difficult in this fort, and I'm gonna really try not to die, but we almost got him.
Heck yeah. But yeah, so I'm realizing that like I gave like the bare bones of Boomtown. There's the hook.
I mean, whatever you want to do to get the audience. The description, in the description is the link to Jerome's channel, Son of Muse. So make sure you guys check it out. I'm in it. We have a buddy from college with us, Kenny, who was in the Fortnite video that was on the channel recently, and then 2 buddies of Jerome that I have met who are swell guys that I'm really enjoying.
Heck yeah, 2 friends from college, 2 friends from high school, a perfect balance for me.
Yeah, I think what really makes a campaign really fun is, so Jerome has an acting background, so he brings a lot of that character development and research into the campaign, and he had made some of the great NPCs. As you'll see in Sunsui's origin, we worked together to make my brother, who is now becoming the warlord of my kingdom, my father, my old teacher, and all of them.
Hell yeah, that was super fun.
So we go into depth into who they are. So a little bit more about Sunsui's background. He is the second son, the youngest of the 2, of the king of his kingdom, the Feywild. Did we ever actually give the kingdom a name?
You know, they don't even have a name in my notes yet. We'll have to come up with something.
Yeah, I guess we never actually thought. We just knew what it was.
Yeah.
But
oh, well, you know what? It is the Spring Court. I don't know if that's the kingdom name necessarily, but I know there's, each season has its own court within the Feywild.
Oh, yes. So, in the Spring Court, Satsui is born and raised and being in the typical samurai faction. He's learned swordplay, and history, but Satsui really sticks to a different type of swordplay than his brother and everything. I enjoy, which we haven't got into yet in Elden Rings, but I'm going to try to, dual wielding. Satsui uses a katana and a wakasaki. So in D&D, in the campaign, I use both of those, and I use 2 weapon fighting as my fighting style, which I learned my 2 weapon fighting style from my previous master, who is not a Elden but is a druid, not druid, a drow.
Oh my god! Probably my favorite NPC that I've made so far, Walumi.
Oh yeah, I think he's great. I think what I really love about how we are building it is elf culture is just different in general. So we bring in all different types of elves into the kingdom or into the court that are used to build the Spring Court. So I learned my swordplay from a drow, but I am taught by Elden the proper and swordsmanship of a samurai, one sword style, and the different stances and whatnot.
Yeah, big credit to how you've played Shunsui so far, because it made making Walumi his mentor really easy. Because I was like, how did Shunsui get to be such a lazy bones,
Yeah. So the laziness is the big thing. The other big thing is, based on the Bleach character, is his robes. has sakura blossoms, um, which he gets from his one true love, who is now have left us in this world. Do you want to go a little bit more into that?
Yeah, absolutely. This hasn't really come up in game yet, but I do have it in my notes. That
It
yeah,
happened in
Shansu,
our origin episode.
but not her. Not what happened to her.
Oh, not what happened to her, but who she is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's an interesting character. I'm looking forward to either via dreams or you getting knocked out in combat, which is becoming less and less common.
I want to say that
Exploring. No, go
real
ahead.
quick, just to talk about that. I think that's a really cool thing that you have done as a DM that I want to implement in my games. I know we talked about it before, and then when I think I was the first one to get knocked out because playing the samurai in a western, everyone is range fighters, and I'm the only tank. And
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
You are fighting with you are literally bringing a knife to a gunfight every
yeah,
time.
but every time one of us get knocked down in our death rolls, we have flashbacks, which really helps the audience learn who the characters are.
Heck yeah. I think it's also made it really enjoyable for the
Yeah.
other characters around the table, because I feel like usually you don't learn much about other players' background unless you have, the scene around the campfire where you're telling what happened. But for details about everyone's past to kind of come out mid-battle, it can be a nice little break from,
I remember,
the
yeah.
very math-heavy times.
Exactly. I think learning more about one of the characters, Pete's background, in the middle of that fight was huge. And everything.
Yeah, that
'Cause,
was
yeah,
crazy.
essentially,
Sometimes the... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I don't remember what my flashback was just about my love and
Yeah,
more about
yeah.
her.
I will say the next time you get knocked out, I do have a plan for you kind of going off on your journey, where you will most certainly fail after she contracts that illness.
That's be fun. Yeah, I don't think I have been knocked out in a while.
No, it's been a minute. Because I've been editing all of Arc 1, and like the last person to get knocked out was Pete in session 8. And we're on to session 13 today.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about how you are breaking them up in arcs and stuff? Because that's also really cool, and how you are doing it and why you're doing it.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, so I love incorporating character backstory into the game. To me, that's the game. Like, I don't really come with a concept of like a main storyline. I come with like a vibe of the setting, and then I love to find out what people's backstories are, and then fully base the game or an arc around them. So, for instance, Kenny's arc, Wayne Eastwood, he had like a classic Western revenge plot. He's probably made the most straightforward Western character of the group. And
He
yeah,
really jumped into the Western, which is great.
yeah, he did. I love his character. I mean, even in the name Wayne Eastwood,
yeah.
he made like Batman and Clint Eastwood in one character. But
Oh my god, he did. I
yeah.
didn't really connect the Batman. Wayne is
Dude,
his Batman.
Yeah, like Bruce Wayne.
I did not connect that. I knew Eastwood was from Westerns, but
Yeah, no, I love it. But yeah, with his revenge plot, I was like, oh, that's a really simple story to tell. It's tracking someone down and then, confronting them. And he had a whole bunch of other interesting ideas and twists which were incorporated. But yeah, we just finished up Arc 1, which was Sins of the Father, which was Wayne's arc. We're going into Arc 2, The Milk of Mother's Mercy, which is following Kenneth and his relationship with his god. He's a fighter and a paladin multi-class, kind of a gunslinging priest type of situation. So we're gonna
I remember when he
delve into
multi-classed. That was really shocking, but I loved it, and it fit so perfectly.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Sometimes the dice tell the story. Like a moment like when he decided to multi-class paladin, and the way that we worked it into the story was so perfect because we were doing that skills challenge to travel somewhere. He critically failed and ended up on the other side of like he ended up like right in the belly of Ghost Town, which is something we'd built up for a while. And then yeah, he had that semi-religious experience and had chose to go paladin. It really just worked perfectly. Sometimes the dice tell
Yeah.
the story.
Exactly. I'm gonna be working here, getting our first death fruit of the game.
Oh hell yeah! Get those yummy roots to give to that big guy.
Yep.
Here's a weird question about Elden Ring. If you kill that guy before you get to the second to last boss fight, is he still there?
I don't think you can kill him. I think he's like when he attacks you. If you bring him a set on, I think after you bring him like 4 death fruits, he then becomes aggro. But I think he is. As soon as you do so much damage, he becomes peaceful. I'm not sure if you can kill him. I'm not. I have to look at it. I have never tried. 'Cause I like the character.
No, that's fair. I think. Okay, I might be misremembering. I beat Elden Ring like 6 months ago, and I think after I beat the final boss, I went back and no, I definitely in one playthrough or another, I think I killed him. I'm pretty sure I killed him and just got a bunch of death roots from him, but I might not. That might be misremembering.
I mean, that also is very big possibility. You might get all the death fruits that you give them back. I just want to point out that was the easiest I have ever defeated that guy. He didn't even get anything off.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Now we're gonna go check out these ruins.
Hell yeah.
Oh yes. You do want to use a stone sword key on this one because this will give you one of the best talisman in the game. So we're gonna go down here and grab that. But what were we saying? The Arcs. So the Paladin. Yeah, he made that change to Paladin in Ghost Town. I, as a character and a player, want to go back to Ghost Town. But I don't know when we will be doing that.
Well, I can tell you this. So in this next session, the world's gonna get a little more sandboxy for a minute, and there's gonna be 3 or 4 wanted posters for people that y'all could choose to track down in a later session, and one of them is hanging out near Ghost Town.
Oh, nice. I do want to say that's a really nice style of your DMing is you took comments of the players, because I know some of the other guys really wanted to do more of those. The aspects of getting wanted posters. So now that you're introducing that more, it's cool. So we just picked up the green turtle talisman, and that is gonna just boost my recovery and my stamina, which is really nice, really important.
Something that I found really useful was at the end of Arc 1 when we had a little debrief for like a half an hour as a group, and I got to ask everyone like kind of what did they like, what did they want to do more of, and I remember for Kenny he wanted to do more like bounty hunting type stuff, and then Dakota wanted to do more downtime activity stuff.
Oh, I thought Dakota also wanted more wanted, but I could be wrong.
That might be. I just remember Dakota was like, hey, I thought we'd be doing more like homesteading and like slice of life stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, y'all want that? Let's do it.
So this church here, there is a phantom that will pop up, so be wary of that phantom. But yeah. No, I think that's really shows your DMing style. You are adapting to your players and changing to what the players really want.
Heck yeah. Well, that's the reason to play, in my mind, is for us to all just fucking have a great time, feel cool, all that jazz.
Oh, this phantom is kicking my butt.
That'll happen. Yeah, sorry, I'll quit swearing.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Dude, you know something that I'm realizing, though, with I'm loving this campaign. It's the most fun I've had DMing in a long time. I'm realizing though, when you really make a settlement be like the main focus of your campaign, you're asking to have to make an ungodly amount of NPCs.
Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna run away from this phantom because I do not want to die right now.
I'm
We'll come
literally,
back in.
as we speak, I'm like going into the Discord and making an NPC chat so I can like keep them all
Oh,
straight
you
in my
can.
head.
Fun fact: you cannot leave from being invaded. We dead. So we'll come back and pick up the runes. No, yeah, your NPCs have been on point. I think the sheriff, Slim, the mayor, and even what is Derby, who is going to become a plot point soon, is really cool.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're all super super fun. I love Thomas Derby as a villain. I kind of want to like never actually have him show up because he's just so cool. I don't want to actually bring him into the game, you know?
Every time I hear about him, I just think of Doug Dimmadome. Oh no,
Hell
Doug
yeah.
Dimmadome.
Dude, in my head, he's 100% like cross Doug Dimmadome with like that lawyer from the Bee movie, the voiced by John Goodman. You got him. And then add in like a sci-fi element, because he is going to be like kind of he's an artificer, he's an inventor.
Mm-hmm. Well, because originally, rest in peace, he didn't actually die, but we had a different friend in the campaign that had to drop, and he was a. Not that we have the debt roof. I am gonna come back to the round table hall real quick. But he was made by Derby.
Yeah.
So he's in the first few episodes.
I don't believe I'm known as D.
So yeah, if you take the
Yes,
death
I
route
actually-
and bring it to D here, he'll unlock a marker on the map that will
Heed my
take you
warning.
to the Beast Covenant.
Those who live in death
But go ahead,
should be
Drew.
left well alone.
Oh, I was just gonna say,
By a mariner among their
what was I gonna
number.
say?
Unless you wish to lay down your life in vain.
Something about
I do have
Derby
plans
or
for. Yeah. So Derby was one of the main antagonists that I had planned for the game. I was just trying to figure out a way to weave him in with someone's story. And then, yeah, when Nathan was like, I want to play a robot cowboy, I'm like, wow, that fits perfectly.
Then I'll introduce you to Garank.
So, yeah, Law will also be a pivotal part of the third arc. He will probably be mostly an NPC controlled by me, but we'll also see if we can get Nathan back for a single session, maybe for a fight or something.
Yeah, no, I think that would be real cool. It really changes some of the way things are happening in the world.
Hell yeah. Well, that's something too I really wanted to. What's so cool to me about the Western genre in general is that it's just all about the world is completely changing, right? We're going from pilgrims to modern people, and we're stuck somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like factories are happening, guns are becoming a thing, but like the world and culture are not at all prepared for these rapid changes. I mean, in a way, I feel like we're in sort of like right now with like AI and AR and all this different technology coming. I feel like we're in the midst of another kind of Wild West as like our world is completely changing, and who knows where it's going.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, it is quite different sometimes how things are happening, what you think of.
Heck yeah. But yeah, I love something with Boomtown that I think is so funny is that individually, every single one of you has told me like, hey, if there's an option to like do a sacrifice play and push the villain through a portal, but I get lost forever, I'll do that. And I think it's so funny that you all have told me that you're willing to do that. I think it's so funny.
I can't wait for it to happen.
I know. Well, you know, no spoilers, but I'm planning something at the end of Arc 2 which taps into that a bit.
Ooh. Yeah, so how long is each arc in your mind?
In my mind, it's hard to say because like the first 3 or 4 sessions of Arc 1 were really just like getting introduced to the town, and we didn't really get into Kenny's story until the last, the last 6. So I feel like this will be similar, where the first couple of sessions are not necessarily going to be directly related to Kenneth's arc here. So I'd say, in my mind, an arc is about 10 episodes, but that's including like 3 or 4 episodes spread throughout that aren't really related to the main plot.
Yeah, definitely. I think that gives you enough that we really expand. I remember when you first came to me this idea, you was like, "Yeah, we'll finish in the summer," and now it's been a few
Yeah,
months, and
we've finished a quarter of it, and it's like fall.
um, but cool. So I think that's where we're gonna wrap up this episode. You guys got a little more about what the story is. Um, I don't think we touch much about Sunshui, but we'll do that in the next episode and everything. So thank you guys for tuning in, and make
Heck
sure you
yeah.
guys go check out Sun and Muse check out the podcast. You were talking about airing in October, right?
My hope is to launch all 4 of the Origin sessions and Session 1 on Halloween.
On Halloween. So mark your calendars, everyone.
Yep,
Awesome.
and then I'll
Well,
release the other 9 every week, probably on like Friday or something.
yeah, no, that sounds great. Well, as always, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and let us know how you guys, if you guys are gonna check out the podcast. Well, thank you guys. See you in the next one.
Heck yeah.